Hi everyone, good evening, happy Friday. So this is not tarot, so it's not my Sunday general, it's not my Tuesday general. This is session 1 of the wonderful Through the Hermit's Door. So we've opened the Hermit's Door, seeing what message is going to be there or subject that's going to be spoken about, and hopefully if it can give you any kind of tips or ways to look at something a bit differently if you're interested in it, then this is for you. Okay, so like I said in my video, I think it was on Sunday, this is about, I don't think, oh, that Friday I'm going to talk about that Friday I'm going to talk about that. It all comes intuitively to me. So I will either dream about certain things and write them down, or I go into meditation, and then just certain colors and images comes in, and it's like a puzzle, and it helps me put together what it is that I need to speak to. That's how my guides communicate with me sometimes, especially when I'm doing videos through the screen, okay? Because obviously I'm not talking to you on a one-to-one basis. So today what we're going to talk about, really interesting, and I feel it might help a lot of you. We're going to talk about the heart's energy, the heart's memory, and the impact it has on a spiritual level, which can determine how we move forwards, okay? When I say determine how we move forwards, it's all about if we think a certain way, if we're very reactive, if we overthink, overanalyze, and if we are very guilty of mistaking a gut feeling to actually what's a fear, we've all done that, this would be really beneficial for you because it's showing that heart hub, that heart chakra, and heart chakra energy. People think it's about relationships. It's not really about relationships. What it is about is yourself, okay? It's like doing a Reiki course. I don't know whether you're familiar with Reiki, but Reiki 1 is about yourself, and then Reiki 2 is about how you help others. Exactly the same with your heart chakra energy. It's about yourself, and then it externalizes and is about how you react and help others and deal with certain situations, okay? So that being said, of course, as you know, if you watch any of my videos, I always have a cup of tea. It's not herbal this time, it's normal tea. And then what I'm going to do at the end, guys, these cards are speaking to me so much at the moment. This is the word, okay? So I'm going to see if it encapsulates anything, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is the heart energy. We all know we have a beating heart. This is not about a physical heart talk. I don't go into that. It's all about the vibrational energy around the heart. Okay, a couple of things I want to say. I call the heart the first brain. Not the brain up here, whilst of course we need it because it's how we survive, it's how we make logical decisions, it's how we think. The real thinking on an emotional level, the guttural kind of truth in a situation with yourself and other people is in the heart energy. Very closely linked to your guts, okay? Which is where we get gut feeling from, okay? The more balanced your gut on a health level, the higher intuitive you may feel you are, okay? If you have a really out of balance gut because of anxieties, this, that, and the other, your intuition is going to be all over the place, okay? So how do we tap into our heart chakra energy? How do we identify what is anxiety and what is a general gut feeling? First rule of thumb is if you feel it first and foremost in here or in here, it's a gut feeling. That only lasts generally a few seconds. If you then start to think too much about it and think, yeah, but that could happen and that could happen, then it's a fear. If you feel it in your chest, it's not a gut feeling. If you feel it lower down and it's not sitting right with you, that's a gut feeling, okay? And the heart will speak to you for a few seconds, and because of cultural conditioning, because of how our own minds works, it will squash it, and then our thinking mind will take place. Remember, in tarot, the mind is always represented by, say for example, the 9 of Swords. It's the high anxiety card, but it's not it's not a gut feeling card. It's not the high priestess. It's not the intuitive energy. It's the fear, okay? So if you feel it in your chest, or you're thinking, oh, what do I do about this? 9 times out of 10 it will be old pattern in ways, or it will be a fear of an outcome to a situation, okay? If it's in your gut and you're thinking, I don't know why, but this isn't right, even if you haven't got a reason, that is your gut, your heart energy speaking to you, okay? So a little bit about the heart energy. It's the most healing part, as well as your palms. Okay, if you're very much a giving person, I always say to people, try and plug in visually like white light or green light going into your palms, because then you're not exuding, you're not getting rid of any energy unnecessarily. Okay, your palms speak to your heart because they are very healing. Say for example, if you see something quite shocking or upsetting, the first thing you do is, oh my gosh, your palm goes to your heart intuitively. You don't even think about it. Your palm is trying to heal what you've just seen and what you just heard. And it's your body knows, your soul knows, your energy knows exactly what to do. It's our mind that gets in the way a little bit, okay? The heart energy also has memory, okay? So something that could have been said to us when we were 15 at school that was quite upsetting, and as we get older, we forget about it, we live our lives, this, that, and the other. That could be a trigger for your future relationships. Not like massively, I'm not like talking about dramatic kind of scenes here, but what I'm talking about is the self. You know, I said it's about yourself first, how you see yourself. Those things, those little things, could kind of have that snowball effect with our self-worth, with how we see ourselves, with how we think other people see us. And it's all these little tiny things through adolescence, more like 15 onwards. So like I'd say like up to 25, your heart will hold all the little tiny snippets of, let's say, digs or mocking or something like that, that made you feel less than at one point. Okay, and as adults we grow up, we kind of forget these things. Your heart doesn't forget it. Okay, so it's that clearing sense of self. I will say about how you can boost that energy also, but I just want to talk about I read an amazing book. Now if you're interested in the book, I can see if I can find the author. That's really bad, I can't think of the author, but I don't have it here. I've lent it to my mum and she's reading it at the moment. But this is one of the most amazing books I've ever read. It's written by a neurosurgeon, and the neurosurgeon knew there was something wrong with him. Physically, this is. He just knew. He had loads of scans, he had a CAT scan, he had everything, x-rays, nothing was showing up. And the doctors were saying to him, you're fine, there's nothing wrong with you. I just want to put a disclaimer out there, guys. If there's any physical issues that you feel you're going through, don't just use a video as an answer. If you feel like you need to go to the doctors, then of course you do that. I'm using this story as an example of the heart's energy. So, and he knew there was something wrong. So it goes back to what I was saying. You just know. You can't explain why, but you just know. That gut feeling, so different to the overthinking anxiety that we feel as a gut feeling. He described it like his heart was crying. He said, I felt like my heart was crying. Now, this is an extremely intelligent person who, performs surgery on the nervous system. So he's not going to be into the whole energy thing necessarily as such. He's very much somebody who looks at anatomy completely different necessary to maybe somebody who works with Reiki. Okay, same kind of energy levels, but the perspective is different. But he even described it as, I knew my heart was crying. Obviously not physically, but what he was talking about, his heart was trying to talk to him. That gut feeling, what was his heart saying to him? He knew. Now, there's no hocus pocus here. There's no like guessing games. That strong energy that I always encourage people to keep maintained will serve you so much greater in the long run. Okay. Ultimately, what happened to him, he turned out to be quite unwell, where he needed an operation. It turned out it was caught in time. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he insisted to go for more tests, and eventually they found something and he was fine in the end. Okay. However, what that led him to do was to research heart energy. Why was his heart crying? Or why did it feel like it was crying? And what was triggering it? What made that happen? What made his heart, of all the places in his body, make him feel that it wasn't done, that there was something else that he needed to know? So he researched it, and what an amazing job he did, because he found people from all walks of life giving various different stories. One in particular was there was this girl, and she had a heart transplant. Her old heart, the physical functioning wasn't as it should. So she needed a heart transplant, and there was a donor. I mean, it's a sad story because obviously with donors, there's another soul that leaves this earth, and the physical elements are donated. And the circumstances that this girl had died wasn't pleasant. It was unjust to the point where it was an investigation, okay? So her heart, her healthy physical heart, went into this girl's body. Now, time went on, and she started to have vivid dreams. She didn't feel right. She felt there was something wrong in the sense of something needed to be done, something wasn't fair, okay? A lot of people thought it was her body adjusting to, sometimes the body can reject certain things with like trauma, it sees it as trauma. And, you know, when you have anything like that done, the body, I think to a certain degree, will try and reject it because it sees it as like an alien body. But all the tests showed that it was adapting very, very well to her heart. Okay. So they started to listen to her. They asked her what she was seeing, what her visions were, and she wrote it all down. She said, I see this image of a guy, described him exactly how he was, what he smelt like, the state he lived in, because this is in America, the circumstances of the event which happened to the other person, the girl whose heart she had, where he lived, everything, absolutely everything. So they investigated this, they got the police involved, and the outcome was they found the person who had done this horrible thing to this woman, and he got put in prison. Now, all that has come from her heart going into another woman's heart, and the memory from that cellular memory that heart held was still in that heart. I can't explain that. I can only speak in terms of energy, and that the heart and any part of the body, but today's the heart, we're talking about the heart energy, it was holding that. It was holding it in. So obviously that's a big scale of like trauma there, what that woman went through. But there's no mediator, there's no kind of level of, okay, well, the heart's going to get rid of that memory, the heart's going to get rid of that kind of experience, even though our minds might have forgotten it. It still holds it in, okay? But that is amazing evidence, huge evidence that the heart is the hub of your intuition, as well as the crown chakra, the higher self. It all works in motion. They're good friends, you know, because it's like a circuit system, okay, of energy. It's like a circuit system of intuition. And there's so many other amazing stories that just blow your mind just through intuitively from the heart's level, okay? So if you are somebody that overthinks, if you are somebody that can't make a decision, that might be due to your planetary placements also. But if you think, okay, I need to do this, but I need to do that, which one do I do? I'm overthinking this. What if that happens? What if this happens? There is a little trick you can do, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, now this will take practice. Sometimes it might work the first time. Other times it might work after a few times, okay? I can't take credit for this. I learned this from a man called Greg Braden. Not personally, I don't know him personally, but he's an amazing spiritual teacher. And I've implemented this into private classes, and I've implemented this into my own life, because I don't teach anything, guys, unless I've researched it and unless I've seen results, okay? And then obviously it's down to the person if they want to do that themselves. What do you do? Okay, so say you are in a situation, do I message this person? Do I not? Do I get on that bus, or do I get in the car? Do I go there? Do I go there? I mean, I'm just using, I'm just plucking anything out of the air, okay? You're taking the energy now from your mind into your heart. You're taking the overthinking, the overhuman cultural conditionings from your mind into your heart. Your heart will know an answer. It will give you the answer. It will regurgitate it. You know when you go to a car park and you put the money in to get your ticket, how quick the ticket comes out? It's like that, okay? What do? You take 2 fingers and you put it just here, just that little dent in your neck there. Think of the thing you are making a decision about. Say, for example, do I message somebody? Do I message somebody? Or you do, place that thought just here with your fingers. It's very close to your palm, remember, which is your healing self. And your palm is face down towards your heart here. All you do travel it down to your heart energy 3 or 4 times. Do I message this person? And imagine that traveling down into your heart energy. Your heart will process it. How you feel in that moment will be your answer. And if you're still not sure, it will just take practice, because you could be just so used to overthinking. And when we don't understand necessarily how a process works, our mind will try and figure it out, and it kind of creates a blockage. Okay, so I'll just do that again. So how do we, how do we overthink? We all know how to do that. How do we try and find alignment in a thought which will create an outcome, which will create a decision? Okay, what am I thinking about? That's what you do. It's amazing. You can then rub your palms together until they're nice and hot. You're activating the energy, and then just place it on your heart chakra. Do not underestimate the information that your heart has. The information has the filing cabinet to your soul. Your brain has a filing cabinet to your day-to-day life. Which one do you want to look at? Okay. A little tip also, with overthinking and things like that, it can mean sometimes we have an over-calcified pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland does speak to the heart energy. It's a gland in your brain, and what it does, it's your intuition. So again, with all the noise of all the overthinking that can overtake you sometimes, if it's calcified, it's going to be a blockage. It's like trying to run water through a blocked pipe. It's going to get through, but it's just going to be a little bit difficult. So you're going to get a bit of residual message, but you're not going to get the full one. Okay, I always drink blue-green algae, otherwise known as spirulina. You can put a teaspoon in a glass of filtered water, okay, and drink it. You don't have to down it. You can if you want, but you just sip it throughout the day. It does look like you're drinking pond water, and if I had £1 for every time someone said to me, "Oh, what are you drinking, pond water?" I'd be very rich by now. But this is literally just blue-green algae. Don't know whether you can see that. It's very accessible to get. Make sure you get a good organic brand, guys. It is worth the extra few pennies. You don't want anything that's over-processed, okay? So have one of those a day, and I swear I do feel like the pipes of energy in my body, which are leading to my heart chakra, my answers, my lessons, they clear, okay? You will feel centered. You will feel that sense of knowing, but you don't know why. Remember when we reversed it and you think, I know there's something wrong, or there's something niggling me, but I don't know why? You can have the exact same effect on a positive level, going, I know everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to come to me at the right time, and I don't know why. I don't know why. That's I can't speak. That. Did you get that? This means you're in alignment. Okay. You can access it by having green crystals around you. This is malachite. This is a malachite sphere. Don't worry, guys, if you haven't got crystals, doesn't mean that what I've just shown you there won't work. It just amplifies the energy, okay? And what I do just before my readings, what I do just before I speak to my guides, I will put my palms on my malachite, and it's just infusing that electric in me on an energy level, and things come in, okay? When I went into earlier about my dreams, I never used to listen to my dreams, and I always used to think they were really weird and think, okay, well, why am I dreaming that? It's your heart energy. It's your subconscious coming to you with different messages. This came to me in a dream through the hermit's door. I thought it was a very, very creative dream I had. I thought, oh, that's nice, but I didn't click that it was part of my soul path. My heart was telling me, and there was so many lessons in that. Hermit, the Virgo energy, my second name's door. So it's beautiful. But don't try too hard to figure it all out, because that, again, is your logical mind trying to make sense of energy. And that it doesn't work that way. You'll feel very exhausted if you try and do that. So 2 tips there. The heart's energy, the blue-green algae, the talking from your mind into your heart energy, the rubbing of your palms, the most healing part of your body, onto your heart, and just practice this as much as possible. And then the key is, don't look for an answer, don't look for a sign, because again, you're reversing it. You're going back into your head, okay? Those stories of that heart energy, that how the heart knows, is phenomenal stories. And what I'll do, I'll find out the book and I will put it in the comment section. If you're into that, you will find it extremely interesting. A neurosurgeon wrote it, okay? What I'm going to do now for you is see if there's an energy with a word, because it would have picked up on what I've been speaking about. You've got forgiveness. Isn't that beautiful? And the green in that card suggests heart chakra energy. Now, forgiveness doesn't mean anybody who's done something less than, go up to them and go, okay, I forgive you now. Forgiveness is part of the process of eliminating that heavy energy that your heart's remembered. Remember when I said it could have been when you were 15, could have been when you were 21, whatever that was. Forgive that energy of it coming to you. Forgive yourself for holding on to it, even if you haven't realized you've held on to it, and release it. You can still do it because we're still in a full moon energy. Does that make sense? So it's saying you're not holding on to the bad stuff. You're not holding on to the negative stuff. The more you do that, the more your soul becomes in alignment with your heart energy. So then you kind of take calculated risks about things you really want to do that you may not have done before. Things like that. Things will start to change. You will become in alignment with when you go outside, you could cross the road and the green man flashes without you even pressing the button. It's showing you. That's green man. It's funny because green's the heart energy. So it's doing those things. And if you really, really cannot think, it's 2121 as I said that, if you really cannot think of those things that might be keeping you on that level of flight or fight or trigger mode because of your heart energy, say, I willingly release any negative heart cellular memory that I still may be holding. Write it down if you want. Burn it. Verbalize it. Say it in your meditation. Say it when you're in the bath. Say it when you're in the shower. It will release. And depending on what you have to release, it will be very quick or it will be a process. Either way, these are some simple tools just to get you going. Turning that wheel in the car, turning that engine in the car, and you have created your own starting point. So forgiveness, even if it's forgiving yourself. Okay? Anyway, that is session 1 of Through the Hermit's Door. I hope that's given you some kind of information or was at least a little bit helpful. If not, then we'll see what my guides want me to talk about next Friday. Could be something completely different, but it will all be on an energy level. Whatever that is, whatever I talk about, there'll be some sort of connection. That's the only link here. Okay, so guys, you have a beautiful Friday. Have a fantastic weekend, whatever you're doing. I will be doing my Sunday general tarot reading Sunday morning, hopefully, but either way, it will be posted. See what messages are coming up. Do this up until that time and let's see what messages are coming out. Okay, you take care. Have a fabulous evening. Like I said, stay safe, stay warm, stay happy, and I will speak to you very soon. Take care.